Hi everyone, I'm Corione, your witch in residence here on YouTube. And after watching this movie, I'm reminded of a saying in craft that whatever you put out, good or ill, will be returned to you three times as much. And that is the only way I can describe the plot of the Nicolas Cage vehicle Lord of War. Now, before we get too deep into it, I just wanted to let everyone know this episode is sponsored by Durham Pagan Pride Day. I'm going to do my best to put a link below. Please see my intro video, and if you wish, come on out. I'm running a workshop. I'm going to be working a booth. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on out, say hi, or at the very least, leave a message on the Durham Pagan Pride Facebook page and let them know I sent you. Now, with that obligatory ritual out of the way, let's talk about the Lord of War. Now, the main plot of this story goes something along this line. This is a story about a Ukrainian family who leaves the Ukraine for the United States, for Brooklyn. The main character witnesses a pretty horrific event and realizes that the only people who really win in gun crime are the people selling the guns. So he decides to become one of those people. And realizing that illegal arms sales are way more profitable than legal ones, he becomes an illegal gun runner. And actually, shockingly, a pretty effective one. So he goes about his, game of getting around Interpol trade sanctions, of selling guns to American allies, American enemies, anybody who's willing to pay. And he gets a lot of the things he wants: the huge house, the wife he always wanted, money, power, a little bit of infamy around the world. But during the process, he winds up getting his brother addicted to illicit substances. He has to spend so much money on getting the girl that he loves, he practically goes into debt and actually has to get deeper into the gun trade in order to pay for the extravagant lifestyle that she has now become accustomed to. He hurts his family. He doesn't wind up with any friends other than warlords, who are doing some pretty terrible things with the death he's selling. And nobody will do things for him out of the goodness of their heart. They do things because he can get them weapons and guns, and you name it, he can do it. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a lot of fun on a movie angle watching the bad guy get away with it. But this movie is very, very careful to show the consequences of what happens when you do these kind of terrible things. All right. He winds up getting successful enough to draw the attention of a very powerful Interpol agent, which leads to his wife finding out what he does for a job and ultimately leaving her and taking the kid. It leads to his brother being shot. It leads to his family disowning him. And while a member of the US government does bail him out near the end of the movie, he realizes quite correctly that they're bailing him out today because they don't need a scapegoat today. They might need it tomorrow. So he can never go home. And he can't go back to where his family is from because of all the shady dealings he's been involved in there. So at the end of the day, he loses it all because he was not interested in the ramifications of his actions. He was just interested in the short-term gains. And I can't help but think about a lot of the times when we're only focused on the short-term gains and don't consider the long-term ramifications of our actions, right? Anything we do is dropping a stone into a still pool. It has reverberations that will continue on as long as it possibly can. And when you're dropping in multiple stones, who knows how those reverberations will interact directly. I am often told that I'm a bit contemplative, that I don't directly go for action unless I can absolutely see the upside and absolutely understand where the downsides are going to be, and then I kind of then I'll move. But otherwise, I'm very much a wait and see kind of individual. And I think the reason being is because I want to know what the long-term ramifications of the things I'm going to do are. I am definitely the kind of individual that believes in planting trees that my grandchildren will get to enjoy the shade of, but I never will. And that kind of long-term planning has really been kind of lost of late. And it's sad that it's been lost. We need to start thinking longer term. We need to start planning for a future that doesn't necessarily include us being alive. And the reason why I say we need to do that is because at the end of the day, we are a link in the chain. From the previous generations urging us forward to the future generations waiting to see what we leave them to use. Now, I am not saying that you need to go out and invest and then not act on those investments or anything like that. But I'm saying we need to think about what our actions are going to do long term and how that is going to affect us in the longer run. Because one day it will, okay? One day we are going to have to sit down and deal with all the decisions we have made, right? And I'm not talking in a divine sense. I'm talking in a very literal, one day our negative actions are going to catch up with us. Because sadly, while some of us are very, very smart, we are not smarter than the people who have the experience in dealing with legal matters. At one time, I dated an individual who was very, very well versed in tracking criminal financial activity. And her ability to get information and use that information to, arrange arrests of ne'er-do-wells really made me realize that while you may have a really good idea on how to pull off something illegal, you will eventually get caught. And at that point, before you begin, you have to start asking yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is my actions worth the ramifications? Now, I know for me, the actions of coming on here, talking to you guys, being honest and upfront about my communications, about what I do, and trying to be honest about how I view the world, I'm hoping that the ramifications are, it makes you guys think about those things too and decide for yourself what you want to do and what you believe and what ethics you hold dear and that you want to pass on, and what lessons you want others to learn from your actions. And if that happens, that would be wonderful. And I think that would be absolutely great. And I'm hoping that that is what you take away from all this. Now, if you decide to take away anything else, I hope it's that what I'm offering here in terms of voice and lessons have value to you. And if they do, and you decide to reciprocate with value of your own that you add, that would be wonderful, right? I'm not saying that everyone has to be altruistic or that everyone has to, live selflessly. What I'm saying is you have to realize that you're in an interconnected world, that your actions have consequences for others. And what legacy do you want to leave in their mind? Do you want to leave this is an individual with integrity that is trying to do the right thing, even though, hey, sometimes they may not get it right? Or would you rather them view you as a monster? I don't want to be viewed as a monster. I kind of want to be viewed as the old guy who's sitting in the cafe who passes on some words of wisdom to the young people who take that forward and build something wonderful with it. And I hope I'm doing that. And I hope you guys are seeing that too. I don't want to wind up alone, away from home, with nobody caring about me at all, only what I can do for them. I would rather be the guy that is at home, that has a lovely wife and kids, that has friends and family and neighbors that respect him and care about him. And when my time comes, as it will come for us all, they are able to get together and smile and laugh, and maybe cry a little about the memories they have, and never forget that I tried to live as an example, a positive example to others, and that is something that they can take forward. Now, some of you are fairly young who watch my channel. You're in your 20s. You don't have to think about legacy yet. And that's fine. But even just consider this. There is a concept that like attracts like. I've covered it before in videos. Try to be the kind of person that you would like to be around, right? If you're honest and you care and you help others and are reasonably charitable, either with your time or money or what have you in terms of resources, others will respond in kind. Okay? If you're willing to get up and help when others aren't, then others will get up and help you. Speaking of Durham Pagan Pride, my wife and I were one of the first people to volunteer this year to help run it and help get it off the ground after years of the unknown virus of unspecified origin. Getting it back online now. And in that process, we've made some incredible friends, and the community here has come together with us. And we're realizing now that the divisions of the past are exactly that, the past, and that we are all capable of coming together and working as a team and building something truly special. And I hope you find the same. I hope you're able to grow into building a community that takes care of you and you take care of it. Because at the end of the day, we are all links in a chain, from our ancestors to our inheritors. And I would like this link to be strong. And I would like your links to be strong and hold that connection together for everyone. All right, guys. Thank you so very much for putting up with me today. I really appreciate you all. There are some exciting things coming forward, up to and including some new items that you're going to see, and a really cool link tree setup that we're going to have going, that's going to have where I'm appearing, what I'm doing, and allow you guys to follow along if you so wish. Guys, thank you so much. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.